Salam, and welcome to a new episode of Meditando. Today, for me, is an incredible day, a special day, because I have the pleasure to conversate and meditate with this woman, changing the way I saw my mind. In a wonderful way, she tells us in her book, The Power of Vital Forces, how to achieve the art of being able to restore our energy, our vital force. This book not only demystifies ancient Indian wisdom, but also renders the tools and techniques practical and accessible for daily modern life, continuing to uplift the life of thousands, individuals, couples, groups, and organizations. They simultaneously undergo their own transformation through the profound wisdom of Vedanta. Welcome, Rajshree Patel.
Thank you so much. So very happy to be with you.
Thank you very much. The pleasure is all mine. Well, we always start with the same question. Tell us how meditation, spirituality came into your life.
You know, it's so funny. As human beings, we're used to creating cause and effect. This happened, and that's why the result was this, right? But you know that meditation breaks all that down. And for me, how I entered meditation is exactly that experience. I was living in Los Angeles at the time, like 1988, 89. And you may have heard Pandit Ravi Shankar. Do you know the sitar player? Yes, he's no more. He's passed away. I saw a sign, and thinking I'm going to a music concert, I ended up in a different program altogether, the Art of Living course with Sri Ravi Shankar, who's a spiritual, enlightened master from Bangalore, India, and not a sitar player. And so because I had gone, curiosity is a good thing in life. Staying open and available is a great thing in life. And just by chance, it was luck. It's not like I consciously thought, oh, well, let me be open, because it was, you know, I was a lawyer running around thinking about the next accomplishment and the next house and the next thing I had to buy. Nothing wrong with that. But I was not really conscious, is what I'm saying. I was not aware. I had no experience of meditation. But luckily, sometimes God, divine, universe has a bigger plan than we do. And I just stayed. I thought, okay, well, I'm here. Even if it's not the musician, let me see what this is about. And that started my journey. I left law. I was a lawyer, a prosecutor in LA, working for the US Attorney's Office. And I left that and I traveled to India 6 months after my first Art of Living course, thinking I was going to stay here for 6 weeks. And I didn't go back for 5 years. I just stayed. Yeah. So somehow divine had a plan in how I got to meditation. I think if anybody's listening, your audience, you know, I don't think anything is an accident. I think everything happens to take us to our bigger, greater, higher good. But we're not always open, like I said. We're not always available to take the message that we get from the universe. And so I encourage all the listeners out there, if you're new to meditation, if you've tried it and you didn't like it, but you're still listening to this, if you feel like you're stressed out and you don't know what meditation is, if you're great at meditation, it just means the universe is saying, keep going in this direction. It's what you need and what it'll give you. So just go, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Now, if you have in front of you a person who doesn't know anything about yoga, spirituality, meditation, how do you explain what is our vital force?
What is vital force? So if you think about it, a baby is born having lived on mother's food, right, for 9 months. And then from the time they come into the world, for so many years, they have milk, and at some point, mashed potatoes, mashed carrots, some little cooked apple. But if you see the vital force, we loosely say energy, vitality. But it's not exactly a good translation, because this is the subtle force of life itself. If you look at a baby, 2 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old, they're not drinking protein shakes and they're not doing this and that, but they have more energy than 100 adults. If you look at their eyes, you look at their face, you look at their skin, you hear the sound of their voice. A little baby in a big room, grr, 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 the whole room gets full, right? What is that? It is not sound, it is vital force. It's life force. Chinese call it qi. We can call it vital or bio life force. In Sanskrit, it's called prana. No, Sanskrit, it's called prana. And science uses the word energy, but look, most people think of energy like calories. You eat something and you get energy. Or they think of electricity as energy, mechanical energy. If I throw a ball, it'll bounce based on the energy with which it was thrown, that much higher. There's nuclear energy, there's kinetic energy. There's so many types of physical force of energy. We here are talking about life force, prana, vitality, chi. What is it? You cannot be alive without it. It's your very life. It's the first thing you do when you come out in the world, right? You're not breathing yet in your mother's womb. You're in a bottle of water, basically, or a bowl of water, amniotic fluid, all your waste product, everything is there. You're living off of the mother, and everything is functioning by itself. What is giving you life inside? It's not breathing. Life comes first. That's what vital force is. Life itself.
Wow, it's incredible. It's incredible. And now, what happened with us? How can we restore this energy? Because I don't know, we lost it when we started growing. What happened?
Yes. So when we're born, we come fully charged, 100% vital force, right? Full. It's kind of like my cell phone or anybody's cell phone or computer. When it's fully charged, like right now, it shows 100% charge. When you wake up in the morning, the battery on your computer, your cell phone is full. You actually feel a difference even in the way you press something, even in the way it quickly connects when you dial somebody. There's an instant connection. There's no glitch. It's not slow. It's not kind of hesitating. It's not thinking, right? It's immediate. But then the more you use your computer, your cell phone, the lower the battery gets, right? From 100, it eventually ends up at 10%. The red light comes on, right? Well, it's the same for us. We are charged for life. But how do you use it determines what happens to you. When the battery in your cell phone goes down, everything gets slow. If your computer has too many files open, right? Sometimes you're working on one file, you have 100 files open in the back, one from last year, one from last week. And only when you close one file do you see, oh my God, I don't need this file. Why do I have this here? I don't need it, correct? It's something that's really real. Well, every day you recharge your cell phone, or every other day, or every 3 days. We don't recharge our body or our mind or our emotions or our spirit in a sense. So as the life force goes down over the years, and you find when you're like 30, it's when you start to hit your late 30s, then the battery power is really reducing, 40s, 50s, 60s. So then you slow down, you're not vibrant, you don't get as excited, you're not as compassionate, you're not as happy, you're not as adventurous, You're not as clear. You're not as courageous. You're not as enthusiastic. Have you noticed older people like, no, I don't want to do that. Oh, it's fine. You go. I'm too tired. It's just like our equipment. It gets tired. It functions less efficiently, less strong when the battery is low. So that's what's happening. We are draining energy and not adding to it. And the question is, what drains energy, really? There's two things. Of course, even to blink an eye, you need energy. If I move my hand from this to this, open and close my fist, you need energy. If you blink, you need energy. If you eat, to digest your food, you need energy to begin with, and then it gives you more energy, correct? To sleep, have you noticed if you're so tired, you won't be able to sleep? You need a little energy to be able to go deep into sleep. Everything needs energy and uses up energy. Good files, bad files, good apps, good emails, spam emails, everything drains your battery, correct? Well, guess what? The thing that drains the most amount of energy is your mind. Thinking, analyzing, judging, processing, being negative, complaining. This thing is the biggest energy hog. It is like having a huge file open on your cell phone. It'll slow everything else down. If you open a video, a large video on your computer, it's a huge file, you know that you won't even be able to pull up a simple email. You have to close that file. So number one, what happened to us? We were so happy, so vibrant, so alive when we were born, and then we got less and less and less, is because our battery got less and less and less. We use it up. And the second thing, what I already said, and we never figured out how to have more energy. We eat, we get energy. We sleep, and I don't mean calorie, I don't mean protein, I don't mean carbohydrate. I don't know if people know this, but different foods give you different amount of life force, vitality. When the apple is on the tree, you can see it's thick, plump, crunchy. Then it drops when it's ripe, meaning this is when it has the highest amount of life force, just when it's ripe. It has glucose, it has potassium, it has all the vitamins, but it also has prana. And then after a few days, that apple starts to shrink, meaning it's losing prana. It's just like us. When we're born, we're like a crunchy, nice, juicy, fluffy apple. And then we get older and we start to shrivel slowly, slowly. Prana level goes down, right? So fruits, vegetables, herbs, you know what I mean by herbs? Like cilantro, basil, all those things. These things have a lot of prana. I don't mean just vitamins and nutrients. I mean life force. And certain things have less prana, and certain other fruits and vegetables are neutral. So like onion and garlic, they take a lot of vital force from your system. As an example, it's not that it's good or it's bad or you eat it, you don't eat it, but it takes energy. And if you notice when you're tired, you'll want to eat onion, garlic, more dense food, but then you feel very sleepy and very like heavy in the head. It's because it's taking the little energy you had, right? So food gives you energy. Sleep gives you energy, but even that's a problem for most people because not everybody gets to sleep well. I know so many people, even I have had that sleep where you go to sleep, you wake up 8 hours later, meaning out of your bed, but then you're not even sure, was I sleeping? Was I thinking? Was I awake? And you still don't know, did you sleep well? If someone says, did you sleep well? You say, God, I don't know. I feel like I was thinking the whole night. People have this kind of sleep because your battery, your mind is being drained. It's continuously thinking, planning, organizing, tossing, turning. I should have, I would have, I didn't, why didn't I? We regret, we blame, we complain, we get angry, we get frustrated, all those kinds of things. So we don't sleep and necessarily rejuvenate. But babies, they go to sleep 20 minutes later, they're fully active, right? You'll see moms say, oh, she's cranky because she's tired now. I have to put her to sleep. Then they put the baby to sleep. 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, they come back out. The crankiness is gone. They're sweet, they're gentle, they're loving. You know, I don't think people realize this. The most peaceful person is the most powerful person. And in a room, in a home, the most powerful person is a baby. Everybody runs around after a baby because their depth of life is very thick and full. You know, another way we get energy, of course, prana is what I'm talking about, food, sleep, but then there's breathing. And then there's meditation. So with breathing and meditation, it's as much as you do, the more energy you get. Every time you breathe in, you're taking in prana, life force, vital force. Every time you breathe out, guess what? You close a file, something reduces, something drops off of your mental, physical state. And what drops off is what you don't need. What is negative, what is not serving, supporting, or working for you. Do you see what I'm saying? That comes out on an exhalation. But most people even hold their breath when they're stressed. Their stomach is tight, so they don't breathe in fully. They don't breathe out fully, so they don't recharge fully. They don't release the stress fully, which only makes the situation worse. They get more impatient, frustration, agitation, anger, fear, worry, anxiety, tension, and rage. No, it goes depression, rage on both sides. So breathing is a huge key to being happy, efficient, more successful, more vibrant, and of course, the word meditation. No. So I don't know if you have a question, but I'll just say this one thing and then you ask. Meditation, people understand as relaxation, generally speaking. But it's not just relaxation. It's true. The mind, all the thinking goes quiet. So we say, I feel more relaxed. People may or may not know it, but most people have like 60, 80,000 thoughts in waking hours. Deepak Chopra, I'm sure you've heard of him, he speaks about this a lot. You know, thoughts are electrical impulses of intelligence. If you put the electrodes on a Buddhist monk or meditator, you can see when a thought arises, it'll change the measurements. And then they also can say a thought. Well, we have 60 to 80,000 thoughts in 8-10 hours. Do you know how much energy it takes for that? It's a book. It's an entire audio book. Most books are about 80,000 words. These are 80,000 thoughts, full thoughts. So if you think about it, you know, if you're playing something, a digital recording or something, that many songs will drain out your battery, isn't it? If you play 80,000 worth of sentences, your battery will be less than half. And we don't know how to address our thinking. We don't know how to reduce it. So this idea of relaxation came into the Western world. But in Vedanta, in Buddhism, if you see the Eastern philosophy, Zen and so on, the word meditation is not just relax, but connect back to your essence, who you really are. And who are we really? The love, the joy, the beauty, the grace, the elegance, simplicity, energy. We are divine in our own nature, like a baby. In the US, they say a baby is a bundle of joy or a bundle of love. Do you have this expression? You know, bundle of joy, bundle of love. We are a bundle of love. But because we don't know how to shut off the daily events, something happened and it goes in our memory and we get stuck. something didn't go the way we wanted, and then we get into fear. So this constant vacillation in the mind between what happened and what should happen. Why did this happen? Why did it not happen? Past and future is actually something that disconnects us from who we really are. We become the stress. We become the event. You know, if you and I disagree today, okay, we disagreed. But I am not the disagreement. I am not the frustration that I might feel, or I am not the sadness. It's an incident. It's an event. And as children, we could let it go. But as adults, we need therapy, and we have to analyze, and we have to judge. And I don't want to talk to you. And we need to sit down and clear things up, and all that kind of stuff that happens, right? Because the memory gets full. Just like on your cell phone, on your computer, memory is full. It will not work well. You do not work well. You are not as happy, even when you have what you want. You have to learn to delete your memory. And meditation is not just relaxation. It's a way to delete unwanted memories, applications, out of your hard drive, out of your mind. So meditation is so much more than that. There's no way people cannot afford not to meditate. That would be like saying to somebody, I don't sleep, I don't need sleep. Okay, one day, maybe 2 days, but eventually, if you don't sleep, and it's like in 4 or 5 days, you will start to become paranoid, mistrusting. This is scientifically proven. If people don't sleep a certain amount of time, they become paranoid. There's qualities of violence that start to come, and aggression and all those things. So meditation is a way back home to yourself, to your essence, to the most powerful part of you, not the part that you judge of you. You see?
You explain everything so perfect, so crystal clear for me when I hear you. Now, what challenge or resistance maybe you think we have when we speak about meditation?
Well, I think the biggest problem is people misunderstand what meditation is. First of all, they think you have to sit in a specific position. Oh, I cannot cross my legs. Well, you don't have to. Sit in a chair, Oh, I have to be absolutely still and not move. Well, that's not true. Another thing people have in their mind is meditation means all thoughts should be removed. I should not be thinking at all. I should not feel. I should kind of go into some vacuum. I should see golden light. People have all these ideas of meditation, and it's the ideas that are the biggest block in meditation. Imagine every day you go to sleep and you have a preconceived idea. I should have this dream when I sleep. And when I sleep, I should not wake up again. And when I sleep, I should not have to change my posture. If you do that, you will never be able to sleep, right? It's the same. If you enter meditation with all these preconceived ideas, you will not be able to meditate. So that's the number one block, And number two is often people learn like on their own through something on the internet, maybe, they read a little and they do it. And I think it's something that requires a little training, a little guidance. Pillows have tags on it, right? Instructions, isn't it? Clothing has instructions. Do not dry clean, wash at this and this temperature. Well, this is about our mind. We're talking about our heart, our emotions, and how do we dive in this ocean of mind and emotion and heart and go into our spirit, our greater higher self. That requires some training. Like for me, I was so fortunate. As I said, by chance, I met Sri Ravi Shankar. He's the real deal. He's not someone who was doing something and then later on. No, it's whole history. He was born into a place with a very special consciousness, very special awareness and wakefulness, if you will, an enlightened state, where at the age of 4, he was caught meditating for hours, wrapped in deep, deep, deep meditation. He could recite the Bhagavad Gita, Sanskrit, at the age of 4, where most of us can't even speak English, really, or Spanish, or whatever language we're used to, So second thing I would say is learn from someone who's experienced. Don't just take someone who's very smart and kind of putting it out there. Marketing is amazing, but the real experience and trained and talent is even better. Do you see what I'm saying? So, excuse me, that's the second thing I would say, And the third thing I think that blocks people from meditating is they think that it's a one-time thing. I meditate once and everything will be okay. It's not like that. It's hygiene. You brush your teeth every day, hopefully twice a day, morning and evening, right? Just because I brushed Monday morning, it's not like till next Monday I'm going to be okay. And it doesn't remove everything for a lifetime, correct? I have to brush every day. Similarly, if I bathe, I have to do it regularly, once a day, every morning or evening. You bathe, your clothes you wash, you iron. Physical hygiene, dental hygiene. You need mental hygiene, emotional hygiene. You have to do something every day. Regular practice builds on itself. So like the happier I am, the happier I become. The miserable I am, the more miserable I become, right? So if every day I practice for 10 minutes being calm, relaxed, connecting with my higher self, loving myself, being grateful for who I am, being grateful for the life that's around me, because meditation does that. It naturally makes you feel more alive, more grateful, more happy, more self-love. The ultimate self-love. I don't mean, oh, I'm so cool, I'm happy, but love as in the higher self, right? So if you do that on a daily basis, 10 minutes a day will affect your next 1 hour potentially, or 5 hours. If for 10 minutes I get sad or angry or frustrated, it's going to affect my 1 hour. It's going to stick in my mind, right? Anger affects more negative moments. Happy affects more happy moments. So this is a big, huge piece. Meditation is a regular practice. Mental hygiene, like physical, dental, emotional. That's the other thing I would say. And the fourth thing that's very important is meditation is not what you do. It's what you don't do. See, in life, we're used to doing something. Then we say, I have achieved, correct? I went through school. I went to do school. So now I'm a lawyer. I achieved being a lawyer. I got a job and I got money and I bought a home. I do things to get and say I achieved, correct? You have to put energy, effort, time, money, resource, action, do. Then we say achieve success. But meditation is the opposite. Don't do, just be. If you let go, it's the process of giving up, letting go, unlearning, just being with whatever is happening. That gives you achievement in meditation or success in meditation. So if you're sitting there and you can just sit there and go back to the technique of meditation, whether you know it or not, you're learning to let go. You're learning not to hold on to things. You're learning not to get stuck in small, small things. You're learning not to judge and just accept. Do you see? This piece is very essential. And most people don't know that because they're there trying to achieve meditation. No, achievement means doing. Meditation means non-doing. Then you have success. Huh?
Yeah, don't do it. Yeah, and we live in a world when everything is do, 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 and obviously when we start to meditate and you need to not do, it's like, oh my God, what is this?
Correct. Because we're conditioned to do. We're conditioned to constantly feel like I'm in control and I have to achieve it and I have to, nobody else can. But meditation is saying, relax. You don't have to be in control. There's something higher in you that's in charge, not what you think and do, but some part of you that's so much more loving and so much more kind and so much more bright and vital, and by its nature, happy. And that's what we're allowing to come up, and that judging, conditioning, stuck, rigid mind, we're letting that go. And this beautiful, natural, innocent, simple, efficient, clear intelligence coming, not intellect. There's a difference between the two. Babies are intelligence. There's no intellect, there's no judgment, there's no right and wrong. There's so much awareness, alertness, brightness, intelligence. And moms will say, oh my God, this is such a baby, 3 months. Look how smart. She knew, she just turned, she smiled, she recognized, she knows the voice, she can recognize. This is all intelligence. Intellect is a label, is a judgment. It's a noun, So if we can agree every day, everything is important, but closing my eyes and looking is the most important.
Yeah.
Looking inside, that's where you really are. You're not somewhere out here. Outside is things, stuff, people, objects, stuff, circumstances, events, happenings. But who's the driver of all this is you. And you have to connect to it. You have to make that light brighter and shinier, not the critical, judging, deprecating voice, which we keep trying to strengthen. If you see today, there are a lot of influencers who talk about motivation and how to succeed through strategy. There's nothing wrong with that. But just know all you're doing is stuffing more things. It's on the surface, but underneath, there's still discontentment. There's still a type of frustration. You still can't sleep at night. You still can't connect to your partner or your spouse or your children or your friends. You still feel like I'm not enough, no matter how much you have. Then that's not really true success. Success is a happy, peaceful smile, like a baby's smile, joy, and all the things you want. Then you're successful. Both things together.
Exactly. This balance between these two worlds, no?
Mm-hmm. Inner and outer landscape of life. I mean, we garden everything outside. We put order to our room. And if somebody's coming to visit, we make sure it's nice and clean and all those things, right? Why don't we do that to our mind and our emotions and our thoughts and our judgments? We don't really stop to do that. And more strategy, more motivation, more hype is not the answer. It's letting go of all of that. That's the answer.
When we are a child, nobody teach us how to do that. And when you say we have 40, 50, and then when we are so in the chaos, we say, I need to do something. And we start to meditate or, finding someone who help us.
Yeah. I mean, if you go to school today, basically the education is reading, writing, arithmetic, and stuffing it in the head. Remember this, put it on a piece of paper, get an exam graded, and then forget about it, right? But in ancient India, It's starting to come back again, but they used to have two schools. You would go to a school for material success, reading, writing, arithmetic, history, mathematics, all those kinds of things, so that the outer world of comfort, outside world does not give you happiness. It gives you convenience, comfort, efficiency, right? Germany is very efficient, productive as a nation on a whole. Many nations are. But that doesn't mean everybody's happy in Germany or in Switzerland or in US or wherever, correct? You can be efficient, you can be productive, you can be very intellectual, but that doesn't mean everybody's happy. So in ancient India, they gave you education to make sure you have all the conveniences, efficiencies, comforts, and productivity. But simultaneously, you went to a school of spirit, essence, matter, and essence, spirit and materiality, right? So 12 years of education in materiality and 12 years of education in consciousness, in spirit, for you to see who you are on the inside and what is on the outside. They're two different things. I am not the computer in front of me. The computer is mine. It belongs to me. But I'm not the computer, right? This is my house. It belongs to me, but I'm not my house. If I have a house that's 20 times bigger than the one that's now, I will be maybe more comfortable. Maybe I will have more work also, more bills also, right? More headaches also, because more pipe breaks, more this thing, that thing, who knows? Okay, fine. But just because the house is bigger doesn't mean my happiness will be bigger and I will feel bigger. I could feel burdened by it as well, correct? So they would teach you both things simultaneously so that no matter what happens out here, you could remain loving, joyful, kind, grateful human being. You know, we don't learn that.
Yeah,
Nobody teaches that.
this is a problem because nobody teach us this, and it's a very way to start our life in this beautiful planet, no? With these two different ways to understand, no? Materialist, no? The material world and this spiritual world. Because this is balance, you know?
Right. Correct. And you have it for the rest of your life, you know? Life will give you up and down, health problems, financial problems, relationship problems, emotional challenges. They will be. It's part of life for every human being. But if you never learned how to handle your mind, your emotions, then the problems become bigger. You know, they become bigger.
Now, in what specific way has Vedanta changed your perspective of life, of purpose, or happiness?
I mean, Vedanta for me I didn't know anything about it, first of all. You know, I'm Indian. People have this idea that if you're from India, you know meditation and you know all that, but everybody's trying to be Western, you know, all over the world. So I was also doing the same. Nothing right or wrong about it, but I didn't know anything about meditation and Vedanta and Vedic philosophy. I'd never interacted with a guru before also. So everything was new. And before I took Art of Living course, you know, whatever I saw, touch, and feel was more or less my world. If I can see it, feel it, touch it, then it's truth. If not, it's just garbage, emotional, mental stuff. But since Vedanta, I realized we live in multiple levels of reality. There's a concrete physical level of reality, there is a body. But I'm not just my body, I also have a mind. Well, I'm not just my mind, I also have heart and feeling, right? I'm not just body, mind, feelings. I also have something that I came into the world with, like the spirit, this sense of love and joy and peace. So for me, Vedanta allowed me to bridge everything into one whole. Before, I used to divide everything up, right, wrong, should be, should not be. This is okay, this is not okay. This is my way, this is your way. This is, other, and this is mine, ours. But now what it has done is it's made me realize that life is a whole. It's made up of both things, not just positive things, but also difficult things. Not just tall things, but also short things. So for me, Vedanta has been a journey of acceptance, self-acceptance, and the acceptance of life for what it is. And it's a journey, slowly, slowly you get to a bigger, better place. And more than anything, as a result of that, my sense of belonging, my sense of compassion, my sense of who is mine and who is other has really become big compared to before. It's not, oh, because you're my brother or my sister, you're mine. And because I just met you this morning, 45 minutes ago, then you're a stranger. It's not like that. My connection is beyond history and time and what we talked or what we didn't talk. It's just the spirit connects. You come online and just your huge enthusiasm. Oh my God, I read your book and I'm so happy to meet you. And the smile, the joy, the genuineness suddenly makes you feel like, oh, I'm not here by myself. I'm connected to something bigger, greater. And that makes you very powerful as a person, I feel. It's very empowering.
Yeah, totally. Now, what would you like people to learn from your book? This?
I don't have any fixed one thing that I want them to learn, I just think you should pick up the book. Look, there's 18 chapters. It already feels so old. Each chapter gives you, to me, I almost feel like I wrote a manifesto, meaning every paragraph brings a lot into it. Sometimes people come to have their book signed, and if you look, it almost looks like they highlighted everything in the book, But if I had to choose something, let's say that you said you're forced into it, which I wouldn't know to, but if I had to, one of the things that comes to me is to realize that for people to walk away knowing at the end of the book, oh, I'm much more than who I think I am. I'm so much more bigger, powerful, beautiful, elegant, loving. I'm a force of what I want. I am whole. I am complete. Do you see what I mean? If I had to, I would love for people to walk away with that. And I think the book builds. It gives you practical tools, practical techniques, a lot of understanding about your own mind. It gives you distance between your own internal critical judging mind and yourself. You learn to create a gap. All of that's there. And as you get to the last part of the book, then you start to realize, wow, I'm so much more than I thought I am. And I don't have to judge myself, and I don't have to try to fix myself. And that I've been created as a divine impulse, part of this huge universe. That would be my wish for everybody, really.
For me, I have to say, I know I tell you at the beginning of the interview, but I think your book is a masterpiece. Because I read a lot of books of every spirituality and meditation and breathing, a lot, thousands, hundreds, I don't know. But it's so, the way that you explain your mind, for example, for me was exquisite. It's like so simple to understand that I am more than this body, this physical body. And I have to say again and again and again, thank you, Rajshree, because it's amazing.
Well, I want to thank you for being such an instrument and a voice for what's so important and so needed in the world, for you to be out there and say, no, I want to spread positivity and meditation and invite people to look inward, because the world is full of hype. 10 positive thing, one negative thing. We like to talk and chew and swallow the negative thing and make it our life. The positive things people just touch on and then let it go. And of course, that's changing more and more. And it's wonderful to have people like you and yourself who are saying, no, I want to make this a mission and a purpose where let one life be transformed. I mean, you don't know what happens, every so often we get lots of messages, but there are many who don't even respond back and say, oh my God, thank you. So you're part of the same journey that I'm on. We're walking it together, and that's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know if you want to talk something about your incredible work in the art of living, because I think it's an amazing, and maybe if you just want to define something.
You know what? One thing about the foundation is it's entirely based on love, meaning everybody volunteers. Why do they volunteer? Because it transformed their life. So they want to give back. So the whole premise of the foundation is if you received something and you want to grow in life, give. It's a very simple principle. The more you give, the more you grow, right? Well, you don't have to give things. You don't even have to give time. If you can just be available to someone to say, I'm there for you. Whatever happens, I'm here for you. If you can have that intention, that feeling, you become powerful. And that's how the foundation is based. And I was fortunate enough to join it 88, 89, many years ago. You probably weren't even an idea in the world still, a baby. And today there's probably 35, 40,000 teachers all over the world. I myself have traveled to 35 countries teaching and bringing awareness about Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar, the tools, the techniques, Sudarshan Kriya, Sahaj Samadhi meditation, and a silence retreat. These are their 3 core courses. You can take them online or in person. I'm sure their programs are there in Spain also. People can connect. Just look up Art of Living in Spain and they'll find it, or wherever anybody happens to be. And these 3 main courses, if you go through it, it's life transforming. You have now got the foundation to start your journey in a huge way so that you succeed inside and outside, and you'll find people all over the world. That's the beauty of it. There's a community, a family, anywhere you go. Like I was in Spain, I was telling you, I'd never been to Spain. Just look it up and you say, hi, I'm a teacher and I'm in Los Angeles. I'm coming from LA. Oh, come. And they have weekly meditation groups, daily groups, depending on city, state. And you go, you meet with them. Come, stay, have dinner with us. And then you get to really enjoy. So it's a global community, really.
And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Now, to end, before jump to the meditation, imagine that you have a wish that applies to you and the rest of humanity. What will you wish?
You know what
What would be your wish?
Yeah. For me, this is something that I often wish for, maybe even at the end of every meditation. And I say, let all living beings on this planet be happy and at peace. Let all living beings find their celebration of who they are. Life is a celebration, as Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar says, but instead of celebrating, we're lost on the other side. So I say, may your life continue and be a full, vibrant celebration as you find peace and the power of who you really are. That would be my prayer for myself and for everyone else.
Thank you very much for this beautiful wish. Imagine that you have right now your master, Sri Ravi Shankar, in front of you.
Yeah.
What will you tell him?
What would I tell him? I don't think I would tell him anything. I think I'd just be very grateful, to be in his energy, in his vibration, in his, look, we're all vibration. We're more vibration than we are matter, correct? We're frequency. And happy people, peaceful people, powerful people radiate peace, power, and happiness, you know? And you catch it. Vibrations are contagious. Frustrated, angry people pass on frustration and anger. And to be in front of Sri Ravi Shankar, in front of Gurudev, is a force of pure, divine force of happiness or deep sense of peace, kind of like how contagious a baby is. A newborn baby, if you see, the mother is holding the baby, some adult comes into the room, they're a little bit grumpy, unhappy, but then they look at the baby. Or when you see a dog or a puppy and you walk into the room, you had a terrible day, and you see that puppy, you don't want to tell anything to that puppy, you just get absorbed in the love, right? You see the baby, there's nothing to say, you start becoming innocent. Oh, go, you start doing these. I think that for me, any opportunity I get around Gurudev, Sri Ravi Shankar, I might enter with my mind busy with, I had to, okay, this or that or the other thing. But in a short time, I absorb that vibration, that strength, that depth, that love, that power. And before I knew it, I'm also, wow, like celebration, you know? So that's what would happen. I wouldn't say anything, I'd just be grateful.
Wow. We need a lot of people in this kind of vibration in this world right now.
But we are, right? Just our conversation is spreading optimism, positivity, strength. I'm sure the listeners feel it at whatever level, you know? They maybe want to hear more. Maybe they're having the feeling of like, oh, I would like to meet these people. Oh, okay. For a moment, at least, the mind opens up into something joyful or positive or light or easy. So that's a vibrational thing. It's not just the words, it's something else under the words that's being transferred.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's beautiful. I am so excited with this life. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Rajshree, for me, it's an incredible honor. I don't have the word to express myself, how grateful I feel right now. Your work. I really want to amplify everything you do because I think it's amazing. Here you have a humble servant to spread how breathing and meditation can really transform your life. It's not because I live every day in my whole life. It's my own experience. Thank you very much, and continue to fill the world with your energy, with your presence, with this incredible smile that you have, your vibration. And now I give you the space to share to us a meditation. And it has been an incredible honor for me. And thank you very much. When you came to Spain, please, I really want to give you a big hug.
You just do a short internal journey.